So I'm sitting here with Paul Naveau, one of the happy chaps who will be joining in for Porto. And we were just talking about the thing about storytelling, because so many times we have heard people saying, storytelling. Oh yeah, that's so nice around the campfire. Isn't that so, Paul?
Yeah. Or when you're talking about stories, that's for when you talk to children before they go to bed. So it's not for adults. But, well, me and you, we both know that's really not the case. And luckily in business, storytelling is becoming really a thing that businesses are understanding. It's really important to connect with their clients.
Yeah, and that's the thing with stories, because we love stories, as you said, from the very beginning when we are small childs, and we love it around the campfire. But that's because we are storytelling persons, or human beings are storytelling species. And stories are the thing we use to inspire each other, to inform in a fun way, and to motivate. And that's why we use storytelling in business, right?
Yeah, a story is just not a bunch of facts. If it's a good story, of course, it goes straight to the core of why it's important to work with a product, with a service, why to solve a problem. It makes you, it goes deep. It makes you feel what's going on, and not just read, fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, fact 4.
Yeah, I tend to think that if you use your stories wise, you can tell very much about yourself and your business and what you're good for without even the audience the people you're talking to. They don't even realize that you're actually telling them stuff about yourself. They just hear it.
Well, yeah, true. It's stories are I'm trying to think about the expression in English, but they're like candy to your ears. They just come, you hear them and you follow along. As soon as people start listening to stories, they stop thinking, and they stop thinking like, this is not for me. This is not my problem. I'm all good. I'm perfect. I'm fine. I don't need anything. But when you tell a story, they let go of their own, beliefs that are blocking them, actually.
Blocking, that's a good word. They don't block you out because they don't feel that you are salesy or anything.
Yeah, they're, and this might sound strange, but the defense mechanism, which is actually preventing them from getting ahead in their business or in their lives, is sort of not that very active when it comes to storytelling. So you help actually people by telling them stories. You help them to connect with the value that you can bring as an entrepreneur, as a service provider.
Yeah, because of course here we are talking about the impact you can have by using storytelling, and you can use it in your business. So of course we are talking about business driving storytelling. Small stories that works as business driving presentations. Oh, my English is so bad, Paul.
It's okay. I understand what you mean.
Thank you. So it's more than just telling stories. It's actually you design them to present your business.
Yeah, well, we're talking about a business context here, so we are talking about stories and structures that will help clients understand why actually working with you is a good idea.
Yeah.
If it's not, well, then it's not. I mean, stories. Not every client is for every service, and etc. But we don't try to push the stories either. We're just telling a story that is real, and then if there's a connection, it's great. But without the story, the connection is very unlikely.
Yeah, and I think that is a really important point, Paul, because they need to be real. They need to be authentic. Of course, you need to design them so they are entertaining and all that kind of stuff, but the origin need to be true and it need to be authentic, because you're not telling fairy tales here.
No, and it's the origin of the story, and it's also who you are being when you're telling the story. It's about where are you coming from when you tell the story. Are you coming from a place, I'm going to tell this person a story so I can rip them off, or are you telling them a story because you can see they need something and you have this and you can help them understand better by telling stories? And if you're not telling stories in the second case, then you are missing out, but your clients are missing out. And that's, for them, it can be even terrible in their business or life. So it's really all about coming from a place of service.
That's a beautiful way to put it, I think. And I really love that. So I'm the one who is going to help the audience find out what kind of stories or what stories you should look for and how to design them in the first place. And you will take it a bit further, aren't you?
Yeah, so the second part of the workshop in Porto is going to be a perfect follow-up on the first part where you give people their stories, help people find their story. And then we go into the second part of a pitch is when you're actually in front of an audience and you have your stories prepared with Åsa then you have to look at how are you going to bring them, which story you're going to bring in which time. And therefore, for that, you need an interactive presentation style where there's a lot of communication between you and the audience, the people that you are pitching for. And you need to build this into the structure of the presentation. And we can do this in Porto now. We're going to look at the Prezi tool to do this, but PowerPoint can also do this. So there's no obstacle for anyone to do this. But we're going to dig deep enough into how to structure your story. How to structure the different stories into a presentation that will help you connect with whatever the audience needs at that time. So you won't be telling stories that are not relevant for that time and audience.
I really love that, because normally this is what you should be able to do when you're out mingling or talking to people or anything and they ask you about your business. And it's kind of a conversational style. And what happens, I'm so excited because this is a way to make it happen when you're actually doing a presentation on stage, standing in front of an audience. And what happens is that you can go into a conversational style that brings you away from the megaphone status where you're just shouting out you know what I mean, the megaphone, just pumping out your message.
Yeah.
Into a conversation where you can hook up with your audience and make them feel seen and answer the questions and go along in the thought process that you can meet them where they are and bring them to where you want them to be, right?
I think that's a perfect summary of what we're going to do indeed. And the clue is you have to do it like that. You have to be conversational in your presentations these days, because people all have, I don't have him right here, it's not next to me, but people all have the smartphone things with them. If it's not a conversation going on, they're going to be having conversations with 7 other people on 7 different WhatsApp groups, and you lose them. They're gone.
Yeah,
they're gone.
And do you know what I thought that you were going to say, Paul? The other thing is that just presenting facts, just presenting the static things about what you want to offer them is not enough today, because they can find that on the internet as quickly as that.
Yeah, they can fact check your data on is this cheaper somewhere else on Google.
Yes, you need to connect to them and you need to relate to them and you need to be with them and bring them into your world, as I say, when you are presenting. And that's that. I'm so excited. I really look forward to see your part of the workshop, actually.
Well, yeah, and I think we have a very good cooperation going on like this. It's a perfect match of good stories and then interactive presenting the stories. And yeah, of course, I'm looking very much forward to Steven's part 3 of the workshop, where he's gonna teach us all how to market it, not just in the event, but way before the event even started. Yes,
and that's something I'm also really looking forward to. And I have another movie going on Rock Your Stories, about where I talk to Steven about his part. But it's basically about how to convert the audience before you even start pitching.
Yeah.
Convert before you sell with storytelling. So this will be, this is such a good setup, Paul.
I love it, absolutely.
Yes. So I'm really looking forward, and I hope that you who are around Portugal, in Porto, can come and join us and be there. So
yeah, the 7th of March, be there.